I wrote an article recently about the Canarian government and the fact that the Canary Islands are pretty much the diamond in the crown for the whole of Spain. You've got the Balearic Islands and Canary Islands, but Canary Islands have got sun all year round. Now, of course, this has brought in loads and loads of buyers over the years. I'm not talking about just now, but people love Tenerife for various reasons. There are some people that think probably Tenerife is just for the 18 to 25-year-olds, just going out partying, getting drunk and then being sick and then doing the same the next day. It's not like that here everywhere. It's only a certain area of Tenerife that's like that. So there's many things that have influenced why people want to come here. A lot of the reason is obviously the weather. I think that the Canarian government should be making more use of the fact that they have the diamond in the crown of Spain, that's my opinion, and I think that they could earn more money by charging more money for various things, such as purchasing property or living here in general, to the foreigners who have moved here over the years. Some people have commented on the article and the various posts I made about the idea. And some of them have said, oh no, you wouldn't be able to do that, it's illegal. But I have seen other instances where this has happened. So I'm pretty sure that you probably could do it. In my article, I wrote about ITP. This is a tax that buyers pay when they buy a property in Spain. And each municipality has its own set rate. So for example, Tenerife has a rate of 6.5%. So I thought, why can't the Canarian government maybe say charge 7.5% for any first-time buyer buying in the Canary Islands? And that 1% there could quite easily be set aside for using to improve the lives of the locals, that are the people that have been taking the brunt of the hit with regard to poor living conditions, nowhere to live, expensive properties to buy, expensive properties to rent, not being able to live near to their work. There's lots of things that need to be thought about, but I just think that something like this, increasing the IPT tax rate from 6.5 to 7.5 maybe for first-time buyers, and then that's a whole 1% on top, and maybe just a 0.5% on top for anyone who's buying their second home, who have perhaps owned their first home for 5 years at least, and then maybe no increase at all for any people that are buying a property if they've been here for 10 years. Something like that could happen. So if the average property price is 250,000 euros, that just adds another 2,500 euros on top of the purchase price for the new people. They're going to be buying at 7.5% if that were to work out. If you look at the ITP rates throughout the whole of Spain, the highest rate that I could find was Catalonia at 10%. You've also got Valencia as well at 10%. In fact, there's quite a few ranging from 8 to 10%. If you, like me, think that the Canary Islands are like the jewel in the crown, why are we only charging 6.5%? And in fact, out of the list of 15 Spanish municipalities that I found their rates on, Canary Islands are 14th on that list at 6.5%. If you increase that to 7.5%, that would only make us 13th on the list of 15 municipalities anyway. So it sort of seems to reason. Now, where could that money be used? It could be used for schools, maybe more hospitals, or better hospitals. I mean, the hospitals here are fantastic, and that's no lie. But they could put extensions on, or pay the staff more, pay the teachers more, maybe make the roads better. There are loads and loads of things that this money could be used for. So how much money roughly do we think we get? Well, we talk about that example of 250,000 euros being the average price, another 1% ITP on top, 2,500 euros. So let's look at the amount of properties that were sold. In 2022, somewhere between 22 and 25,000 properties were actually sold, and around 50% of those were bought by foreigners. So let's assume all of those foreigners were first-time buyers. Let's assume that everyone was buying 250,000 euro properties, which obviously they're not, and let's assume that they were paying 7.5%. So where's that extra 1.5% going to go? We'll have to assume that 11,000 properties multiplied by the 250,000 euro average price times 1% equates to 27.5 million euros. What could you do with 27.5 million euros? I must say it's real simple maths, but there's got to be something in this idea the Canarian government could use, surely. I read a report when I was writing this article that Cabildo, which is one of the governments here, had decided to spend 3.5 million euros on social housing. Now that's not going to be loads and loads of social housing, but if they had another 20 odd million euros to spend, that'd be quite a lot of extra housing for people, and that's only in 1 year. So multiply that by the next years that are coming up. Got to be something in this for the Canarian government, even if they say it's illegal. Look, in Hong Kong, I know Hong Kong isn't Europe, but in Hong Kong, there's a fee for purchasing a tax. They have a tax which is called buyer's stamp duty, and that's set at 8.5%. So if you're not a resident there, you actually pay 15% tax. But it's not just 15% tax, it's 15% tax on top of the 8.5% tax that you're actually paying already. So that's a whole load of tax. People are still buying there. People will still buy here. People are not going to be upset by paying another 1%. I'm quite certain the people that come here are coming here for a specific reason, and the reason is the way of life, the good weather, the countryside, the beaches. Well, let's get some money from them. It's not being mercenary, it's just using your head. So just charge a little bit extra for the people that live here that are foreigners. I'm a foreigner and I'd be happy to pay it. I live here, I enjoy living here. Then if that's the case, pay the premium for living here. I titled this article called Canarian Government, you have the Christian Dior tote bag of Spain. There's a Christian Dior tote bag, which I've seen a video of, which costs €3,500, but €59 to make. Now, that's a totally different sort of thing about why they're selling it for that amount of money. But the point is, they're able to sell it for that amount of money because of the name they've got. Now, of course, not everyone thinks, oh, the Canary Islands, aren't they brilliant? But a lot of people do. So let's take the initiative and try and get some more money from the people who are buying here and use it for the local population. I think it'll just allay a lot of concerns with the locals. I'm currently writing another blog post, part 2 to this one that I've written, and it's going to be about real estate agents and how they can help the local population as well, because we've all earned a living from selling the properties. All right, it's the grandparents or the grandparents of the grandparents that have sold these properties throughout the years, and they're the ones that have made the money on the increasing prices. But you know, the people of today still have that problem. So why don't the estate agents pay something like an extra tax? Why don't they? I've got other ideas for that, so you'll have to wait for the next video or read the blog post when it comes out. Put something in the comments below as an idea to what you think maybe the Canarian government could either A, use extra money to do, or B, how they might better raise some extra money as well. I'm not sure that the Canarian government will be looking at this video. I'm not even sure if they did see it that they'll actually do anything about it. It's just an idea, it's a germ of something that could just sprout into something else. I just think that someone needs to do something about it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.